I decided I wanted to venture out and do a little bit of thrifting. It's more floppy than the sorting hat. I feel like I have bat ears. Not the look. So I'm gonna go bundle up and get fabric starch. I love chatting about books, so I thought it would be perfect to mention this new subscription box that I delved into. Ta-da! Book of the month. If Agatha Christie and the Clue Game had a baby, it'd be this book. Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to my channel. Today is a Sunday morning, I've just had church and I decided I wanted to venture out and do a little bit of thrifting. I'm in Tip City, Ohio and I'm going to be exploring Midwest Memories, which is a really darling, bigger than it looks from the outside, antique store that has so much to offer. It's not Goodwill prices, but it's really fun to browse through and it's always a surprise what you find, so I thought I would start the vlog off doing that. Figured you guys would enjoy coming with me. I want today's vlog to be fun and cozy, so I've got a few things planned for it, this being one of them. The second is a little craft that I'd like to attempt. Keep watching to see if that works out. Then I'd like to spend the afternoon catching up on my TBR list, but more on that later. For now, let's go thrifting. I saw a set of these at Goodwill for like $1 each. I think they want 15 for each one. Gold mine of jewelry. I really liked this, but there's no glass, so that's the only reason I'm putting it back, because I can't put it on or off. I just found a cabinet full of Norman Rockwell plates and cups. It looks like each of the plates are only priced at $5, which is very tempting. Very successful outing. I didn't think I'd find anything. I went in not needing anything, not really looking for something in particular, but then, ain't that always the way, but then I found a few things. One thing I love about Midwest Memories is that they sell my favorite tea brand, Harney & Sons. And I didn't have any more of their caffeine-free flavor, Vanilla Camoro, so I picked that up. And to be honest, they sell it for a cheaper price than you can get it on Amazon or on the Harney & Sons website, so I wasn't gonna pass that up. Now on to the things I thrifted. I found 3 things, and I'm very excited to show you each of them. You guys know me and my gold jewelry. I love wearing gold jewelry. In fact, what I'm wearing today, is it twisted? Yep, it is. Let me untwist it before I show you. This is my go-to necklace. Just any old time I want to look put together, I put this on. It's so pretty. I got it off of Etsy. I'll link the shop down below for you, but it's just so simple and pretty, and I love a layered look. Let me put you there. It's a little better. When I saw these, I had to pick it up. This is not a layered piece, but it's layerable. It's a gold chain with beaded pearls. Just loved how elegant and simple it was. The length of it was really nice too, so I could wear it alone or I could wear it with other things. I grabbed this necklace, which has a clasp. Opens up like this. And I love that there were 3 strands, so I can easily, I tried to put it on in the store, but wasn't having any luck. I think I was too rushed. So I can put it on like that and add a few layers to this necklace or just wear it alone. I just thought it was so pretty. Elegant, timeless. I'm all for it. And then the pièce de résistance. This necklace is hefty. I honestly thought it would be $20, and I don't think I spent more than $5 on each of these. This is also a clasp, but it's a little bit different. It's circular. You just open it like that. Clicks into place. It has many strands. I love that it was multi-layered, love that it was a little bit on the chunkier side, but still that style I gravitate to. Let's see how it looks. It just sits so prettily. Yep, love it. Good decision. I don't know about you, but it's lunchtime right now and I'm starving. I kind of passed the threshold of, all right, I'm hungry, I need to eat something, and now I'm just ravenous, which is always fun. So I'm gonna go inside, fix something to eat, and then we'll start that craft I mentioned. But I'll explain all about that after lunch. We're making beef noodle soup, which is a family staple, especially when we're not feeling well or it's just cold and dreary and we want something nice and warm to eat. Making mine separate, of course, because the beef broth that Mom uses, which is delicious, by the way. It's this brand by Pacific Foods. I can't have because garlic. So I'm using onion powder, salt and pepper, and chicken broth that we had left over. I'm gonna have my own set of noodles soaked in that. Finished lunch and I've cozied up in one of my favorite cardigans, mostly because it's that hour or two after lunch after church, need to be cozy, a little bit chilly because it's winter kind of time of the day, but I can't be cozy, not yet, because you see there's this craft that I've been wanting to do. Have no idea if it'll work, but the thing I need for it, I have to go get. Let me explain what the craft is. For any of my fedora hat loving friends, you might enjoy this. As many of you know, I shop from ThredUp. It's one of my favorite secondhand online shops to find timeless fashion pieces to add to my clothing collection. One of which being this really cute hat. I was looking for another fedora hat, one I could specifically wear in the winter that wasn't some bright color. I wanted a neutral. I really liked this. I looked at the picture, zoomed in, tried to gauge whether or not this would work for me. Obviously thought it would because I bought it, and then it arrived and I realized it's more floppy than the sorting hat. Not quite the crisp, fashionable fedora hat I was looking for. So here's where the craft comes in. I did do some research, aka watched a couple YouTube videos of other people floundering around trying to accomplish the same thing. There is a way to flatten the bill of a floppy hat. Use Mod Podge, dries clear and kind of will stiffen up the brim, or fabric starch, which I'm kind of leaning more toward because that's what the professional hat makers were using. So that's why I have to get uncozy and brave the cold. So we can get this fedora hat looking more like a fedora hat and less like something Crocodile Dundee would wear on his wildlife adventures. I mean, I feel like I have bat ears. Not the look I was hoping for. So I'm gonna go bundle up, get in my car, heat it up as fast as I can, and go get this fabric starch. Dollar General has some cute stuff. I'm thinking I might have to do a summer decor dollar store edition video. Actually, maybe I'll do spring first and then summer. Ooh, they have really cute mugs right now. Ooh, I spy Christmas stuff. Any of it on sale? All right, it looks like everything is 50% off. So some of these, for instance, this one, which I've got my eye on, is $3 but 50% off. That's so cute. But then these ornaments, which were originally each $1, are now 50 cents. Very good to know. I don't think I need anything else. Although this might be a good idea to ring in the new year. What do you think? Single girl problems. Alright, here's the laundry aisle. Let's see if we can find some fabric starch. Okay, the ornament I saw, I did end up putting back because I saw something better. This was 50% off, originally $15, got it for half that, and it's gorgeous. It goes with my decor so well. Obviously I can't use it this year, but it'll be perfect for next year. Now, if I can get it back into the bag, that'll be a miracle. And then of course, what I came for, some fabric starch. It says heavy spray starch. No scorching, sticking, or clogging when used as directed. We'll try it, we'll see if it works, and if not, we'll go to plan B, Mod Podge. Let's go try this out. I have tripods, I do, but what do I decide to do instead? Try to balance you on a ketchup bottle and a tea tin. But you'll be fine as long as I don't move or breathe. I changed out of my Sunday dress and put on something a little cozier. This is also ThredUp, by the way. And if I didn't mention before, I am a ThredUp ambassador and have a nice little code for you, always in the description of every video, that gives you $10 off your first order. So if you've never thrifted from ThredUp before, maybe take advantage of that. It's a new year. Maybe you want to change up your style. Buying pre-loved has never scared me. In fact, I see it as a challenge and feel this instant dose of dopamine every time I find something really cool for a fraction of the cost, including this sweater. That is so cozy, and it's short sleeve, which was just an instant win in my book. So I'm wearing that today in preparation for getting crafty. As a reminder, we are crafting this lovely, was meant to be a fedora hat, is not. It's a little limp. It needs so many inappropriate jokes flashing through my mind. It needs help Let's go with that word and not the other word I was thinking. My sweet mama is going to help me because ironing and I have always sort of been at odds with each other. I've never needed to do it for the most part in my life. So the last thing I want is to be unsupervised while attempting this. So my mom's gonna help me make sure I don't epically ruin things. And we're gonna see how this goes. Oh no, I like this because it gives height.
Oh, I
Otherwise it'd be like here, which might work for you.
You are not very nice.
Mom doesn't appreciate short jokes. You're fun sized. You're not short, you're fun sized.
Yeah, somehow it's not a compliment.
Is this shook enough?
Now typically,
I'm shook.
your right hand is
Spray a section. Video, let it sit flat. All done. All right, hat is finished, I think. Just leaving it here on a flat surface to dry, and then we'll check back on it in a little bit. The excitement of crafting is done. Now I can spend the rest of the evening relaxing, doing one of my favorite pastimes, which is reading. I am so grateful that I've been able to cultivate an online friend group of fellow bookworms. It makes me so happy when I mention a book and you message me saying, I went out and bought it, or I've read that and it's so good. I love chatting about books. So I thought it would be perfect to mention this new subscription box that I delved into. Money's always been a little tight for me, so I'm very choosy with subscription boxes. It takes a lot to convince me that I need to shell out money for something every single month. But this box convinced me. Can you guess what it is? Ta-da! It's Book of the Month. Did any of you guess that? Let me know in the comments. I've heard about Book of the Month from lots of other content creators and it always seemed intriguing. I just wasn't convinced. I have local secondhand bookshops that I can buy books from. Often it takes a little bit of hunting, but I can usually find something to read. The only drawback is that I'm not always introduced to new, upcoming, less well-known authors. And as a hopefully someday will be a published author myself, I really enjoy companies that showcase those lesser-known authors. I'm gonna be a lesser known author someday. And if one of the ways I can support those new authors is by getting sent their book every month, I mean, I'm all right with that. One of the things that people don't know about being an author, getting published, is when you're a new author, you don't get a lot of marketing to back you up. You don't get a fancy old marketing budget that will put your book on billboards or blast it out to millions of people on social media. There's a tiny little budget that they will offer you as a first-time author, and the rest, marketing's up to you. And one of the things I love about Book of the Month is that most of their authors are not well known. They're new, they're fresh, they're up and coming, and to be able to support authors like that and getting to read a really cool book as a bonus sounds like a win-win to me. Book of the Month had a $5 month opportunity where you got your book for $5. And I just felt like, as far as introductions to a subscription box goes, that was a pretty decent deal. So not only did I get a really nice hardback book for $5, I also got to pick what book I wanted. I don't know about you, but I am very choosy with the books that I want to read. I like surprises, but not with books. The last thing I want is to have a book sitting on my TBR shelf and just gathering dust when I know I'm never gonna read it. I say as my TBR shelf gathers dust. It's a work in progress, okay? Every month, Book of the Month gives you around 10 different books you can choose from, ranging from all different genres, all different kind of authors, all different kind of storylines. And when I saw the synopsis for Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, I knew I had to make this my very first Book of the Month pick. If Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None book and the game Clue had a baby, it'd be this book. It revolves around a girl named Daisy Darker, thus the title. It takes place on the Cornish coast in a Gothic Victorian house on the seaside. It's one of those islandy situations where when the tide comes in, you're sort of trapped there until the tide goes out again. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Daisy's Nana is having her 80th birthday, and she's invited her entire family, her son, her son's ex, her 3 granddaughters, her 1 great-granddaughter, and a close family friend to all enjoy this celebration with her. And if you didn't know this about me, I, 1, love the sea, 2, love Victorian houses. It's my dream to own one someday. And 3, I love a good mystery / thriller, and this book did not disappoint. At the stroke of midnight on Nana's 80th birthday, she's found dead in her kitchen. And since the tide has already come in and everyone's trapped, that means one of them is most likely the murderer. As the book progresses, you get to know Daisy more, as well as her family members. You get a peek through the blinds at what kind of life Daisy grew up living, and why there's such a tumultuous relationship between all of the family members, until you get to the point where you start thinking, wow, all of the people trapped in this house either have a motive or could definitely have done it. Aspects of this book felt very nostalgic because some of the technology mentioned, like VHS tapes, play a big part in the storyline. I personally grew up on VHS tapes, and it just took me right back to my childhood. It kept me guessing until the very end, and when I tell you the shock factor, the ending threw me for a loop. I would never have guessed the conclusion to this in the best way possible. I love when I think I know how a story's gonna end and I'm proven completely wrong in the most mind-blowing way. Best feeling in the world. Daisy Darker is a must-read. I burned through it in a single day. It now has a proud place on my forever bookshelf and was the perfect first book to receive from Book of the Month. I do have a link to Book of the Month if you're interested in the description box for you. I've already picked my new book for this month. Haven't received it yet, but I'll keep you posted when I do. Since this is a very bookworm dominant audience, I thought you guys would appreciate knowing my experience with Book of the Month, what I thought of it, and whether or not it was worth the price. As someone who is very careful with my money, I can say that this is worth the price. It's cheaper than if I were to go to a bookstore and buy a hardback cover. It introduces me to authors that I probably wouldn't gravitate to on my own without a little bit of help and suggestion. All that to say, there's a link in the description box if you want to check it out for yourself, and if not, that's totally fine. I will continue to make Book of the Month a little segment in my vlogs as I receive them, as I read through the books, to keep you updated on how I find it. Speaking of books, not sure which book I feel like reading just yet. Maybe I'll make my tea and decide after that. If you'd like to join me, please feel free. Get something to drink, cozy up with a blanket, pick up a book, and let's read a little bit together. Alright, I've finished a few chapters and I think I'm gonna call it a day because I have somewhere to be, and leave you with this little thought. In all the busyness of life, making time to read can often feel like an impossibility. For me, I put so much pressure on really dedicating a huge allotment of time to reading when I gave myself permission to spare a half an hour or even just 15 minutes, whether I got through a single chapter or even just a few pages. Giving myself permission to say, that's enough, that counts, was so freeing. I no longer felt guilty that I wasn't reading enough or that I didn't have enough time. There are no judges standing watch, seeing how much you read, and if you don't read to a certain allotment, sorry, it doesn't count. You are a failure as a reader. It's not how that works. So if you're struggling to make time to read like I was, it's okay to only read a chapter before bed or squeeze in a few pages on your lunch break. It's okay. It still counts. And with that thought, I'm gonna leave the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a future video from me. I upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays, both at 6 a.m. and would love for you to be part of this little online family. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah.